Chapter 1 of On the Seashore. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information, or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Adrian Maskill. On the Seashore by Cadwallader Smith. Chapter 1. Lesson 1. Five-Fingered Jack. What fun it is down by the sea at low tide. Scrambling among the slippery rocks, we quickly fill a bucket with curious things. Some are dead, others very much alive, but all have a story to tell us, the story of the life they led on the bed of the sea or among the sands and rocks of the shore. Look, here is a starfish. It is lying on the sand, left high and dry by the waves, for now the tide is low. The starfish looks limp and lifeless. Its 5 reddish-colored arms are quite still. We know it is an animal that lives in the sea and dies when washed ashore, but what does it do in the sea? How does it move without legs or fins? How can it live without a head? Has it a mouth? What does it eat, and how does it find its food? Like so many other sea animals, the starfish is a puzzle. Some of its little tricks puzzled clever people until quite lately, but we know most of its secrets now. Pass your finger down one of its arms, or rays. It feels rough, being covered with knobs and prickles. Now turn the starfish over and look carefully at its underside. In the center, where the 5 arms meet, is the animal's mouth. A harmless sort of mouth, you think. Too small to be of any much use. Really, it is a terrible mouth, the mouth of an ogre. We notice a groove down the center of each ray, but what are those little moving things which bend this way and that, as if feeling for something? Now that is exactly what they are doing. They are the feet of the starfish. Each tiny foot is really a hollow tube, which can be pushed out or drawn in. At the tip of each is a powerful sucker, which acts rather like those leather suckers boys sometimes play with. Suppose the starfish wishes to take a walk along the bed of the sea. First it pushes out its tube feet. Each sucker fixes itself to a stone or other object, and then the animal can draw its body along. You will see presently that the suckers can do other work too. Our starfish will die, however, unless we carry it to a pool. Before doing so, we must look at the tip of each ray for a small reddish spot. That is the starfish's eye. Are those little eyes of much use in helping the creature to find its dinner? I think not. Most likely the starfish smells its way. If we put the animal on its back in a rock pool, we shall see the tube feet at work. Once in the water, our starfish revives and makes efforts to right itself. Can it turn over and crawl away? The little tube feet come out of their holes and begin to bend about. Now, those near the edge of one arm feel the ground. Each tiny sucker at once takes hold, more and more of them touch the ground as the ray is turned right side up, and at last the starfish turns over and, slowly but surely, glides away. Stones, shells, or rocks do not stop it. The rays slide up and over them. If we had feet like those of the starfish, a journey up the wall of a house, over the roof, and down again would be nothing to us. Nature gives all creatures the kind of foot which suits the life they lead, and it is hard to imagine feet more useful to the starfish than those wonderful sucker feet. Ask any fisherman what he thinks of the harmless starfish, and he will call it a pest and a nuisance. "Hey, it gets into the crab traps," he says, "and eats all the bait, and when we are line fishing it sucks the bait off our hooks and sometimes swallows hook and all." Small wonder that Five Fingers, or Five-Fingered Jack as it is called, has no friend among fisherfolk. On pulling up a useless starfish instead of a real fish, the fisherman tears the offender in half and throws the halves back into the waves. By doing this he harms himself more than the starfish. Each half grows into a perfect starfish with 5 rays complete. We can say that each part of this animal has a separate life, for each part can grow when torn away. If you were asked to open an oyster, you would need tools, would you not? Even with an oyster knife, it is not always an easy job. The oyster, tight in his shelly fortress, seems safe from the attack of a weak starfish. Yet the starfish opens and eats oysters as part of its everyday life. Finding a nice fat oyster, it sets to work. The starfish folds its rays over its victim, with its mouth against the edge where the shells meet. The tug-of-war begins. The starfish's tube feet try to pull the shells apart. The oyster, with all its strength, tries to keep them shut. It is stronger than its enemy, and yet the steady pull of hundreds of suckers is more than it can stand, and the shells, after a time, begin to gape a little. Now a strange thing happens. The mouth of the starfish opens into a kind of bag which slips between the oyster shells. The starfish
Sample complete. Ready to continue?